Hey, it has been a long time since I've been on here with you folks. This is the first attempt at live, even if you're not viewing it live yet. Um, so this is the first time I've attempted live, and if anybody's ever seen my videos before, I'm
Finish button.
changed locations. I'm living in a different place, but today we're gonna go back to one of my old staples. Today we're going to be cooking blind with Jason. Today we're making stuffed baked potatoes. That's when you take a potato, you bake it, you scoop it out, mix in a bunch of other stuff, and turn it into a delicious meal. Today we're going to add some boiled eggs that I've cut and de-yolked already. There's going to be some cheese. I have an onion over here. We're going to turn the other way.
Welcome to live chat exclamation mark. Remember to guard your
We're going to have to turn the other way.
speech off.
And we find that. We're going to chop up an onion. I got a couple slices of bacon cooked up to throw in there. So we'll chop up the onion. So yeah, I've been busy since I've been on my own YouTube channel, creating a Discord server. So many of you folks, I will be sharing this on the International Blind Cafe's Facebook server, the Facebook group, which is what takes up my primary time between that and the International Blind Cafe Discord server. So welcome any of those folks who view this after I've recorded the live. Like I said, this is my first attempt at the live thing, so probably not going to get a bunch of views live, but hopefully when I repost this, it'll start gaining attraction, and I'll start doing more and more live videos. So chopped up an onion there real quick. I like to chop up the onion pretty fine. That way you don't get big chunks of onion. Okay, and then here's my bowl. I put in the egg yolks in there. Make sure there's no spoon. And I break up the egg yolk first. I think there's a head of minced garlic in there. I'll mix that up with the egg yolk. Can never have too much garlic. Mash up that yolk a little bit more. Get your fingers in there. And then, oh shoot, I forgot the yellow mustard. I know it's in here somewhere. Yellow mustard. As a blind person, most of you folks know, if you're from the blind and visually impaired community, you know that you feel out stuff just by the shape. I know the shape of my mustard container. Give it a squirt there. So this is more like a devil's egg stuffing that I like to use. Find a tablespoon. Put a tablespoon of Miracle Whip in there. There's a bowl. Gotta keep track of this stuff. A little more, because I think I got 4 potatoes baking. I'll be pulling those out of the oven right away. And I'll go rinse that spoon off real quick. And we can use that to put in 2 tablespoons of sour cream. 2 tablespoons of sour cream. Remember, I'm going to put the insides of 4 potatoes in here, so it may seem like a lot of stuff, but when you bake a potato and you put it on your plate, you put a tablespoon of sour cream on it. Try and put the fridge stuff all back. Let's get a shake of pepper. Where's that? There's that. So remember, I always feel to make sure I'm not, if I open this side, it'd be the great big gaping hole. I don't want that much pepper in my potatoes. With some a good sprinkle. I shredded about 2 cups of cheese, but I want some cheese for on top of them, but I want some cheese for inside them too, so put that cheese in the bowl here. I might have to switch bowls. This bowl's starting to seem too small. Maybe I'll do that. Otherwise I'm going to make a mess. Seemed like the right size when I was yolking the eggs, but it definitely doesn't seem like the right size now. That a nice stir. Grab a little knife, and then I just cut the egg up into nice little tiny small pieces. Some people like egg in it, some people don't. I don't do it every time, but today, I figured, let's go for it. A little bit of extra. Extra goodness. I'm gonna make these, and then I've got some nice New York strips I'm gonna put on the grill. They pair up nicely. Maybe a little salad. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't have to taste good, or that it shouldn't taste good. Anybody sighted can see that I like to eat, but I like to eat good food. There are companies out there that make, you can go to the freezer section and get stuffed potatoes or potato skins or whatever. They're just as good. Yeah, they're not just as good, but they fill the profile sometimes. So, yeah. Just keep going. So I've got 4 eggs I boiled. Don't want any eggshell in there. That would create a little bit of crunch that I don't want. So you just bring the eggs to a boil. Let them boil for about 6 minutes. That way I know they're good and hard boiled. I don't want the runny yolks. some bacon that was cooked nice and crispy. So I have some nice fresh bacon bits. You can always buy those real bacon bits in the jar, or I don't know. There's other options, I guess. You can use the other regular kind of bacon bits too that people buy. Those artificial bacon bits. They wouldn't turn out as good though. Give that a good stir. Rinse my hands again. Okay, so now I've got a smaller spoon. Make sure I got a nice little knife. Oh, those potatoes smell cooked. So you can cook. I cooked them in the oven for about an hour and a half at 350. That makes the outside skins nice and crispy, and the inside's nice and soft. I use potatoes that are about the size of a baseball or smaller, tennis ball maybe even. If you cook great big like russet potatoes, I use red potatoes because those are the ones I like. If you're going to use a russet potato, you might want to cook it a little bit longer because it's a little bit bigger. The bigger the potatoes, the longer it takes to cook. Then I just take a paring knife and I just cut the top off. I don't cut them in half. I just cut the top off. The longest part of the top. So when the potatoes laying on the table, when the potatoes on the table, I find the flattest part where it's just going to lay flat, because you don't want it rolling around. And then I cut the top side off. Set that top aside because I will use I'll scrape out whatever potatoes in there. Then I find my bowl again. The reason I'm holding the potato in a tea towel is because it's hot. Remember when we were kids we played hot potato? Well, this is the real thing. The potato is warm. But I like using the warm potatoes because it helps melt the cheese and everything together when I'm mixing this mixture. And with these oven baked potatoes versus microwave just cooked up potatoes, with the oven bake I get the outer shell's a little crustier, so it's easier to hollow them out, and I can hollow them out better. If I was using, quite often I've done it in a pinch and just used the microwave to cook them for about 10 minutes, 6 minutes, depending on the size of the potato again. Then I can't get quite all the just plain potato. And you gotta leave thicker potato walls, that's okay, but I like to gotta leave a little bit of potato wall for structure, but I like to give them a good clean out. That way they're that way you can get more of this goodness in there. Oh, I just lost my spoon. Oh. So one thing, as most of you know, I used to be sighted. And just being organized is the key to doing it blind with Jason. I'm trying to remember where you put stuff. It's been quite the journey over the last 4.5 years, 5 years. You seen me last. I was living in a small rural community. I've moved into a larger city and I'm functioning with dealing with transit and all of that now. And I figured it was time to start maybe putting some new content on here. I hope that we have some renewed experiences together and yeah, just keep working on bringing the blind community together and learning from each other and sharing ideas on how we do things, whether it just be day to day. How do you kill your time in a day, or how do you plant flowers in a day, or raising kids, or doing laundry, or yeah, like I said, I stepped away from this for a bit and kind of ventured into a couple other things. Please check out theinternationalblindcafe.com if you want to see what I've been up to. And we've got a thriving community on Facebook and Discord of blind and visually impaired people from around the world. And yeah, we also have another YouTube channel under the same name, the internationalblindcafe.com. So you'll see me push that because that's happened since I was really last on and really and kind of active, putting up a whole pile of videos all the time. Now, well, all the potato guts are in there and potato insides. Now we got to give it a good mix up and a mash up. Those potatoes were cooked nice, so this should come together nicely. Make sure you get to the bottom of the bowl. You can add things like chives, go nice in here. You can add, some people like cottage cheese is nice. Yeah, there's all sorts of different ways to do this. The biggest thing is take whatever you can out of the potato, combine whatever you want into it. Find the spoon that I took all the stuff out of and gently making sure that you get to the ends inside. It's kind of like a tube where the ends were hollowed out a bit, so make sure you kind of get into the ends there. yeah, we just continue on now as we fill them again. When we're done, I'll run the camera over top of them so you guys can all take a gander. And then I'll just put them back in the oven on the 350 again for about half an hour, just to heat all this stuff back up. Because remember, the potatoes warm, the egg's been cooked, the bacon's cooked. At 350 for half an hour, 45 minutes or so, gives a chance for the onion to cook up and the flavors to kind of blend together. But I'll let them sit on the counter for a little bit too, to kind of set up. And when they come out of the oven, don't just go into them right away. Let them set up a little bit too, because there's a lot of cheese in these ones. So let that cheese kind of solidify and that's like come down the temperature a bit. And the best part is, anything extra, you kind of got a bit of a mashed potato salad to go with hot dogs or something tomorrow night. Because you added so much stuff to those potatoes. So if there's only a couple people in your household, I have myself and my roommate. Okay. And then, once I get it sorted out, this is a brand new roll. Should have opened this before I turned my camera off. A brand new roll of parchment paper. Parchment paper really is just to avoid scrubbing the dishes later. You can just put them in the pan. I put them in the baking dish. Then I take that cheese I set aside and I kind of put a pinch and I push that pinch in so that it's kind of stuck to the filling. Just to sprinkle it on, then it would all just come off. Okay, here we go. Find here. Oh, clickety boom. And there we go. There's my stuffed potatoes. Like I said, I'll cook them in a little while. And that would be the end of that. Thank you for joining me on my maiden voyage on YouTube Live. And like I said, I'll post this over on the International Blind Cafe's Facebook server, or Facebook group. I'll share it on the International Blind Cafe's Discord. And if you're blind and visually impaired, please feel free to join us for in person, or not in person, but in real-time conversation on Discord. Share points, views, ideas, jokes, and everything else on our Facebook. And like, share, and subscribe if you want to see some more of Doing It Blind with Jason.
Speech on. Johnny D. God will find you. Button. 15:10. Status bar. 15:10. 15:10. Finish. Button. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Cancel. Button. End. Button.